fresh lime juice. We got pulp in our drinks.
Makes it better.
Yeah.
Fresh lime juice makes the world.
I squeezed lime juice this morning.
World goes around.
Just for this drink.
Just for this one.
Are we on? Did we start?
I started.
Crap.
You were giving us a little humming extravaganza over there, and so I went ahead and brought us in on that.
I don't know that I've ever been in a room where the smell of meat and cheese hung heavier than what we're doing right now.
There's all sorts of things hanging around the room today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Welcome, happy podcast day.
Happy podcast.
Gosh, you're like a prom day.
I'm picking up right where I left off last time.
Wow, you are.
And I'm fresh.
Oh boy. Are you fresh? You feeling good today?
We're always better when we do this first out of the gate in the morning, and we're bringing this in midday, and
we are.
And we know we're not at our best here, but we're gonna bring our best.
So on a scale of 1 to 100, like let's imagine it like a phone battery.
Oh, okay.
Where is your emotional battery today? Like how much has already been spent by whatever you've done for 6 or 7 hours, however long you've been up?
I'm feeling okay because I got some things. I was able to fly through some things that. Oh goodness, Gazoon tight and Gazoon loose.
Very well done.
I typically have my Fridays off. We typically don't do these on Friday. We do these whenever we need to. But I had to work this morning, and it was not stuff I wanted to do, and I was afraid it was just going to be like, yeah, get it.
Sorry, listeners. I had to sneeze the entire
time. I thought it was me walking through the mud, and I didn't. I was able to go through and check boxes and get stuff done. So yeah, I'm good.
So I feel like we're talking like maybe 68%?
No, I'd give myself a good 75, 80%.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, better than you.
Yeah, you're always better than me.
Yeah, you're coming in. Is it allergy season that's got you?
It's allergy season that's got me, and a lot of bad sleep nights this week. My wife and I both have been not sleeping well. This is not interesting. Let's get Eddie in here.
Let's get a drink.
This isn't good talking.
Let's get a drink.
There's wet in my beard. Hang on, guys. This will be a fun one.
Just a little drink. Any little drink will do.
It really goes down easy
Before the evening ends.
Cilantro. This
Today.
looks like something we had early on.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was, but
I think you're thinking of the Corpse Reviver too.
Maybe.
This is not a Corpse Reviver.
It's not gin either.
Nope.
I was afraid.
I know.
I started getting real nervous. I'm like, oh no, is he slipping a gin in me?
No, okay. That's got to pay extra for that typically. No, we're having a daiquiri today. This is just.
Oh yeah.
We've all heard of it. This is most of the time you hear it's frozen. You hear about frozen daiquiris.
If you'd have given me three, if you'd have been like, I'll give you 3 guesses.
I give you 3 guesses. What is this?
Ooh, daiquiri. Nailed it
Amazing.
in one.
Amazing. Yeah, this is just light rum. Today we're using white rum. You can use any light rum.
You're punishing yourself. No wonder you're off. You're like, I'm drinking rum just for the podcast.
Yeah.
Just for you. This is my saint moment. I'm drinking liquor I don't like just for you.
Let's pause there briefly. This is rum, lime juice, and either simple sugar or demerara sugar.
Okay.
You can use either one.
All
so
right.
they're pretty much the same. Simple drink. Nice, easy, fresh, bright.
It is.
Good summertime drink.
Yeah.
I get together with a group of guys on Wednesdays, and one of them listens to our podcast.
Study.
No, it kind of goes the other way. We solve the world's problems one cuss word at a time. We call it Whiskey Wednesday.
All right.
And one of the guys listens to this podcast, and he had said a couple episodes back when we had all the technical issues that we ironed out that morning, he goes, the first half an hour of that podcast might be my favorite one yet. And I was like, really? Why? He goes, you don't rattle easy. He's like, I've never seen you mad. I've never seen you even like disgruntled. He goes, for a half an hour, you were just angry.
Uh-huh.
And he's like,
Uh-huh.
and I could hear it coming
Oh,
through
yeah.
the
Oh,
entire
yeah.
time that you were just so mad. And I was like,
Watch the video. Yeah, you can see
well,
it.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you.
We broke out of that. We broke out of it.
We did.
We realized we liked
did.
doing this.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And we're still doing it.
Oh.
I'm doing it. I'm even doing it sick today.
You're doing
we're
it not well.
Taking one for the listeners.
Yeah.
So-
This one's for you. I even gave him a chance to call off.
Mm-hmm.
I said we can call off. We don't have to do anything. We don't owe nobody nothing.
We don't, but our schedule's coming up, and we lost 5 episodes, and we gotta get back on track.
We gotta make up.
You got pushed through.
We gotta make up.
So I got a funny story for you about the. This is a center moment, but not for me.
All right.
You told on your wife sometimes. I'm telling on my wife.
Oh.
That same night at Whiskey Wednesday, I've got a camera system around the house, and exterior, not interior. And my wife, her son is 17, so he's old enough to know. He's old enough to be responsible for himself. He
sure.
struggles with that.
Well, he's 17. That prefrontal cortex development doesn't happen until 25, they say.
I don't know about any of that. I'm not a magician, but he had gotten Panda Express, and then he came home and he took it upstairs. And I don't ask much. I hate food being upstairs.
Okay.
I hate it. And now I'm like, there's sticky orange chicken upstairs, and it's just drilling into my brain. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm going down to Whiskey Wednesday. And she is on him constantly about, got to clean up after yourself. So probably about 7:30, I get a camera alert. My wife has taken all the garbage from upstairs and is throwing it in his car. And I'm just like, I'm like, I have, and like, the guy in me who loves a good social train wreck was just like, where's that popcorn? I'm here for this, man. I am here for this.
You're like, I am glad I am at another address that this can no way find its way back to me. Like, I am free and clear.
Oh, I kept the video in case there was any question, if there was any doubt. So the funny thing is, that's not long after I left. So she was just full escalation immediately. And I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Gonna be fun when I get home. Right before I get home, I'm walking home, and I get an alert. And he's cleaning all the trash out of his car.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, man.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I get up the next day, and my office looks out over the yard.
Uh-huh.
This kid just threw it all in the yard.
Oh.
He only pulled like 3 or 4 things actually into the house. Everything else was just in the yard. And it was supposed to be really windy that day. So I was like, all right, I'm going to have to go out there and clean it up. Here's my favorite part. She was an equal opportunity offender in this action. Because there was produce in the front yard. Like, I could see like a water bottle. I could see like a ramen bag in the front yard. I couldn't see the zucchini and the squash and the onion. And I'm like, oh my, she threw an onion in his car. And I was like, that's parenting. That's right there. I don't like kids. I don't have kids. I never wanted kids. But in that moment, I was just like, ooh, hats off, man. Hats off. Well done.
Well, was he like, he didn't throw the stuff in the yard that he was like, well, that's not mine. So, like, fine if you throw my trash in here, but, like, you're just...
No, he just threw whatever in the yard.
Just whatever. He wasn't being judicious.
He wasn't trying.
There was no judicious approach to it.
This was not a harmonious back and forth between mother and son.
Really? No, this is
I don't think. And I don't think that's how you're supposed to parent. But like I said, man, when I saw it on the camera, I was here for it.
Oh, that's quality stuff. I like sinner and saint moments of our spouses.
Oh, I can do this all day. We could actually, let's just launch a new series.
That's right.
Sinner and saint moments are only about our spouses.
That's right. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
As long as we have a good place to put a couple of couches.
Well, this house seems to be fairly
we can make this work. My wife and I have done some house projects together, which is always a good test of whatever. Mm-hmm. And 20 plus years, we've learned how to communicate better and how to manage our expectations and our whatever. But every once in a while, like anything, you show up here today, you're not 100% getting into a project. Like we've been putting we tore down our old fence. We've been putting in a new fence,
Okay.
an aluminum fence.
Chain link?
No, an iron rail.
Like
looking,
wrought iron?
Yeah, looking.
Okay. Just needed the visual. So.
Yeah. So putting the fence rails, the posts in, and there's some magic stuff out there. You can set a post now with foam, and it sets in 10 minutes. It is witchcraft. It is fantastic science. You gotta love it. And it gets crazy hot. Like you just feel it emanating out of the hole.
Aluminum.
So this has been hard to. You can't just go to Lowe's and get it. You have to special order it.
Okay.
So it's been dropped off in different delivery times.
Okay.
And so we don't have it all. And we're like, well, let's work with what we have, and as we have time, and we'll get it put up eventually. So we happen to have a weeknight where I'm like, we had one section that we weren't able to get in. And so we got home in the evening, and we had an hour and a half break before we had to do something else.
Okay.
And I'm like, do you mind going out and like, can we just get that section in? Like it's just like I just want it in. Like we needed some special brackets to get there, and I'm like, can we just go out there and do it? And she's like, well, I'd rather do this, and I'm like, well, this should take 10 minutes, like. And then you can.
Famous last
I
words.
know.
Famous last words.
What an idiot. And I ate them, but she comes out. She doesn't.
You ate what?
I ate the words.
I was like, you ate the brackets? It's like, gosh, that's uncomfortable.
I just happened to swallow them just down the wins.
Hey, as a man who once swallowed a straight pin in elementary school, I feel your pain.
She that particular night was not transitioning well from wherever her mind was or where it wanted to be or whatever. So she just kept asking like what I want to say on filters is she just kept asking stupid questions, and I'm like, have you lost all common sense? Like just think about what you're asking. Like what are you doing? Like I feel like I'm working with somebody who hasn't been doing this with me twice, for two full days otherwise. Like, did you forget how we were putting this together? So, yeah, it just was that. And it was, I held it together. Like, I was like...
It's good.
I didn't raise I don't think I raised my voice. I think I kept it cool. Mm-hmm. I know I was a little curt, but I also was kind of trying to just be like, no, like, this is the way it needs to be done. This is how we're doing it. And part of it is like...
This is the way.
She's usually the one who's really big into detail. And I'm usually the one that's really good at cutting corners. Mm-hmm. But this is not a cheap fence. And so I'm like, I'm not cutting corners, and like, this isn't going to look like...
Garbage.
Like my dad's put it up, who likes to cut corners and find abbreviations for things. And I've learned that skill well, and I'm trying to unlearn that skill as I get older.
Yeah.
Because take the extra 10, 15 minutes and just do it right. And so I'm trying to do that, and she's trying to mic roast it, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, stop! Mm-hmm. Like, we spent all the money on this. We're not going to shortchange ourselves now. Like,
right.
So we held it together. We did not fight. We did not end up in a fight.
Good.
But I just had to be a little bit more detailed with my instructions with her. And she was off her game, and that's allowed. It was the end of the day. Work during the middle of the week, like. Nobody wants to be hanging fence rails.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm walking myself mentally through. So
this is the lamest podcast we've done yet.
I apologize.
Yeah,
that's all on me. That's all on me. No, I'm sitting here walking myself through doing a project with my wife, and I'm like, I think we've never done a project together.
I wouldn't start now.
We won't. No, we won't. That ship is
Don't take it on
and burnt to the bottom of the sea. No, I do my thing. She does her thing.
Yeah.
And so like she's not a handy person. She's not even probably a good helper. And if I was just like, here, hold this, like her mind is so fast, she might forget what she's doing 8 seconds later and then just walk away from whatever I need her to be holding. Yeah, I mean, we travel well together. We work well. Like we
your
live well
your
together.
marriage is your marriage is so different that mine and Candy. Like, you guys go to bed at different times. You don't do projects together. Like, you kind of live.
No.
Sometimes it feels like you guys kind of just living alongside each other. But and that may be how you say it. But there is a relationship there. Like, you do value things that you guys do together, and you make sure that you're very intentional with making sure that you're doing those things together. So it's always good for me to hear. Yeah. I appreciate when you tell your stories of your marriage, because I'm like, that's so not my marriage. And it gives me good perspective of, like, and I know this because, gosh, I've certainly walked through enough couples and their marital or non-marital, whatever, to know that every couple is different and unique, and never judge it by what you see, because there is a whole pile of dung sitting beneath the cover.
Not us, we're a snowflake.
No, I know. Yeah, you guys are perfect. You guys are harmonious. Putting garbage and trash in.
Diabolical. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. No, it's parallel independence, I think, is what we are.
Yeah.
So we live our lives together, but we live our own lives. And like, I've had a lot of people, close friends, who are just like, I don't get you guys. And you don't have to. We get it. And it works, and it's good. But yeah.
I'm gonna check back to when you came into the room today. On a scale of 1 to 10,
Gosh.
How annoyed were you that I was on the phone with my wife and on speakerphone so everybody could hear it, because that's how I do.
All right,
phone calls.
so when I walked in the room today, the first thing that hit me, and I'm not kidding, was the meat and cheese smell, because I was just like, wow, that's like litter box level of pie.
I'm walking into a locker room.
And no, I mean, it was delicious though, and thank you again. You bought me lunch today, and I really appreciate that. But that was the first thing that hit me. And then, when I was walking up here, I heard your wife on the phone, and then as the conversation went on, I think it dawned on me, you guys there was no purpose for the call. It was simply a social visit, and to me, no thanks. Like, just no thanks. And like, my wife has done that before. Like, she'll be driving home from the office. But normally if she calls, it's just like a logistical, hey, I'm going to pass this place. You want sushi tonight? Like, let's just pick up sushi because I'm leaving the office late. Cool, yeah, that's great. You know our sushi order. I'll see you in half an hour. There have been times where she just wants to call to catch up. And like, even when I've been, I used to travel a lot for work. And when I would travel for work and she would want to call and catch up, I remember just being like, this is just the worst. Like that chitty chat, small talk, it was, it's just, and here's the thing, and I think this is apropos of a lot of marriages, and I think it's almost, I'm going to be sexist here, because I'm sexist.
Yeah, you are.
I think it's almost a male-female dynamic. So a good example, a couple days ago, my wife had a high-octane day. Like, a lot of problems, just nothing went right, and then more problems got tossed on, nothing going right. I get home. She is, for 30 minutes, full scale. At some point, she's screaming so much. You can see the veins. It's like when we have screaming fights, like the few times we have. And I'm like,
we?
No, her.
Oh, I'm like,
no, I would never.
I was like, man, I don't remember. I
would never.
And I really repressed those. Let me contact a therapist. Talk about screaming fights with bed.
Scream one another. Got it. Okay, great. She's so animated. She goes on for not joking, not exaggerating. It was 30 minutes, and I'm just standing in the kitchen, and I had a day. Like, I had a really bad day, and I was like, you gotta just listen, man.
Me.
Like, this is what you signed up for. She needs to vent. She's been home all day. You've had a trash day. She doesn't know that. Be kind. Listen. And then she's like, how's your day? I was like, nah, it was fine. And that's it. She's satisfied with it. If she presses me, I can give her one anecdote from the day. And she's satisfied.
Yeah.
Like, she needs to play by play the whole thing. But if I'm just like, she's like, well, no, it was just fine. Tell me what happened. Oh, you know what? I had a couple meetings. One went really well. I was kind of impressed with with how well, some of the ideas that flowed through that meeting went. I thought that was great. And then, I kind of left that meeting pretty energized. Oh, that's great. Now let me tell you more about how my day. And so it's just, but I feel like that's a lot of relationships I've been in where like, you throw them one little anecdote and they're like, I know all about his day. And I'm like, I don't need your play-by-play. Well, I offended my wife.
Yeah. That's. I would say I'll throw you a bone and say I'm not sure that's a male-female thing as much as a personality thing.
No, it has to be sexist. Right?
Okay, all right. It's all those women things. No, my wife and I do this where we just call if either of us catch a break midday. And it's not written or spoken or whatever, but usually it's lunch break or after a meeting midday, and we just kind of call and are like, "Hey, how's it going? Anything like whatever?"
Yeah.
Just kind of a check the pulse kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we both do it. We call and we catch the other person in the middle of something, and you can kind of tell because they're like, "Hello," like it's the way they answer the phone is like, "Hello," like. If this isn't emergency, like let's get through this because I'm in the middle of something,
kind.
right?
You guys are so kind because I'm just like, what do you need?
Well,
I don't. I was joking.
We have had there could be something important going on, so we're willing to be like, hello, like is there something I need to know? And if it's not, then it's like, okay, well, I'm heading into a meeting, so. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I was just calling, and we both do it. Like,
are you guys texters? Do you text each other much?
Oh yeah.
God, you just like each other.
Yeah, we do.
A lot of communication.
We do.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof. That's gosh. I'm sweating just.
We close out our day sitting on our bed, cross-legged. I was gonna say
holding
Indian
hands.
style, but you can't say that anymore.
Why can you not say Indian style?
It's offensive. It's an offensive. So you sit cross-legged.
Okay.
And then we stare in each other's eyes just silently for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we offer each other 10 compliments.
Trust exercises. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'll take things I don't ever want to do for 400, Alex.
We don't do that.
No one does that.
No, marriages are weird. All marriages are weird. All relationships, they're unique. Like,
yeah.
It's,
I think I shared this. I don't really know, and I don't care. You can hear it again if you want.
Yeah, that's right. Or just skip over this part.
There's a neighbor that I became friends with at the pool, and he's a single guy who lives.
I'm sorry, it's so
on
hot
the
here.
Oh no, you're good. I'm something's happening in my body.
You going through the change?
Yeah.
The change.
Yeah.
Menopause.
And there was one time where he was like, we were just chit-chatting, and a lot of other friends were there and stuff, and we were talking about what we were going to do that night, and he's like, I really don't believe you have a wife. And I was like, I do. I promise I have a wife, and some of these people can vouch for it. And he's like, yeah, like you're just, like I see you walking around alone. I see you hanging out with other people. Like I walk down the fitness trail and I see you just in your backyard or on your deck alone. He's like, you come to the pool alone, and I'm like, no, I come with my next door neighbors because
what's wrong with them?
A rando dude showing up at the pool looks like a
creepo. Yeah.
So I'm like, nah. Hey, if anybody's going to the pool, let me know. I'll meet you over there.
You're like, no, my wife's an internal animal, and
and so I gave him the inside cat, outside cat thing, and he was like, yeah, I still don't believe you have a wife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, she's in there. She's around. But yeah, we're just very different people. She doesn't go to social functions. Like if there's an all skate, she doesn't go. I've given her the side door out of all family functions on my side of the family.
Nice.
So she's not gone to one of my family functions in 5 years. Because I'm like, my mom doesn't know how to cook with anything but butter.
Yeah.
My mom made... How my parents are alive, I don't know. My mom made Philly cheesesteaks. This was a few years ago. You want a steak for Philly cheesesteaks? Sure. I like Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell she made. It was not a Philly cheesesteak. Saute the mushrooms in butter. Saute the steak in butter. Saute the peppers in butter. Butter the roll. Put more butter in like, it was just butter.
It's Paula Dean's recipe.
I was like,
no? Don't use butter in Philadelphia?
I don't know. I mean, I've had a lot of Philly cheesesteaks, and I've never had whatever that was again, or before. And Yeah, so but my wife can't. My wife has dairy
Right, yeah,
problems,
she's-
and
yeah.
so it's like she can't eat anything at my mom's, and then my mom's offended,
Sure.
and I'm like, it's over an hour to get
Uh-huh,
there. We got to
yeah.
stay 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
We don't really want to be there to begin with. So she's like, would it bother you if I didn't go? I go, I don't want to go. You never have to go again.
You never have to.
I don't want to have to go
I
out
have
there.
to, yeah.
I'm familially obligated to have to go out there. You're fine. What were we talking about?
I don't have that in any of my on any side of my family ever. I don't.
You don't have familial
I don't ever
obligations?
feel obligated to
Wow.
have to spend time with my family.
Me either. No.
So.
Yeah, I don't like chitty chat. I don't like chitty chatting. But my wife
Well,
and
we do a
text-
podcast, so we're doing it.
My wife and I text throughout the day, and I thought episode 35 was the right time to tell you I don't like small talk. It's dumb. No, I like talking with you, but
this
I like
is big
like,
talk. This is
You
big
and I is
talk.
like catching up. I used to work with this guy. Ooh, this guy Josh. He was
This is called Ben's Unloading,
sorry,
folks. We're
guys.
just, here we go. Just circling. We're saving him a therapy session, or we're helping him.
In case you can hear this, this is me just banging the microphone against my head. This guy used to be a cop, and it's fine. I have respect for police officers. I have some respect for police officers.
for police officers. Yeah.
And hey, you know what? If you need a crowd moved, they're great at it. They're great at it. I guess it really is a thing where cops just like that chit chat debrief for half hour, 45 minutes to an hour in the morning, where they all get together and they just chew the fat. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm here to work.
Yeah.
This guy would come into my office, and at first he was new, and I was like, oh, he wants to talk about the job. He wants to talk about the expectations. Like, I'm his boss. Like, we can.
Sure.
We got to a point where he would walk into my door, and I would just be like,
Oy.
business or personal? He'd be like, oh, I was just gonna see how you're doing this morning. Come back later.
Yeah.
Get out.
Wow.
I don't have 45 minutes to listen to you talk about your daughter's soccer game. No one cares about your kid's soccer.
Bit prickly that Ben is. Bit prickly.
No, I'm here to work. That's it.
Oh,
That's all it is,
oh.
man. I'm here to work. I don't care how your weekend was.
Do you have do you make friends with people at work that you like socialize with outside of work?
No.
Yeah, you keep business at business, and then your social circle is.
So like there's a guy who works in another department that we're like soccer friends.
Okay.
So we talk about soccer with each other. But
That's
like,
about it.
We don't. I'm not like, hey, our teams are playing. Why don't you come by?
Sure.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, we can talk about soccer, and that's fine. But I have a really short fuse for that.
Sure.
Like he's got 3 to 4 minutes, and
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
Yeah.
I've got other things to do.
Sure.
But no, I don't. And in fact, like even work functions where like I have to go to a happy hour with clients and stuff. Oh, I hate it because I'm like I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care about you as a person.
It's true. Like we, while our kids have been involved with certain sports and extracurriculars.
Oh, those
Like,
are the worst. The other parents
Yeah, because
get bent.
I really have to hype myself up to engage with that, and so like mainly because I don't know. I'm a jerk, and that's okay. Like I'm just like I'm not accepting friend applications at this time. Like so I don't.
Oh man, I've said that to somebody. A really similar thing. But this was, this was probably
talked about that
5
on here?
years. I don't think so.
I don't think so,
I don't.
yeah.
I've not told this story in a long time to any human. And but you're that human, and whoever's listening to this, you're also that human. Now that this story is getting into your ear holes.
Uh-huh.
I was at the North End that closed down during COVID, and that was a great barbecue spot, great bar. And I was just sitting there one day, and I was watching baseball, and there was a guy who was wanting to kind of talk baseball, and I go this way real well at the bar, and for you listeners, I'm pointing towards the bartender.
Uh-huh.
I'll interact with the bartender just fine. I don't like going side to side.
Yeah.
I don't need to be your friend. So this guy's talking about all this, and then and I'm being nice enough, and I get ready to leave, mainly because I'm annoyed with him that he's talking to me. I get ready to leave, and he's like, hey, this might be kind of weird, but like, all right, it's hard to make friends as grown-ups, and like, would you want to get together sometime, or like, can I give you my number, like, just as we could watch baseball here, friends? And I
Love it.
And I was just like, look, man, we weren't friends at the start of this. We don't need to be friends at the end of this. But have a great rest of your day. I was like, no, I don't need to be your friend. If you don't have friends, go find another friend. Like, maybe that's what he's doing. He's not finding friends that day. His wife's like, Steven, you don't have any friends. Why don't you go out today alone and try and make yourself a friend?
I'm going to connect you with my coworker who I think you would just love.
Can we sit silently in separate places and not interact?
You showed up once to a bar to meet a guy. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I did.
That relationship must have broke you.
I don't know how. Well, I was probably, what I think it was I met you. I was younger. I was more full of hope. I believed in things.
Glad I could kill that. Glad I just smashed that out of your existence.
And then I grew up and realized everything's a mirage.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Hey, here's a story that doesn't pertain to anything we're talking about. We talked about the camera system earlier in my house.
Oh.
I did not realize exactly how thin the crown of my head was getting until said camera got in.
Let's see. Yeah.
Yep, it's getting pretty thin.
Yeah.
And now I see that on the camera all the time, and it just angers me.
Does it?
Yesterday, well, no, it doesn't anger me. It angers me that I didn't know what was happening. And I don't do a lot of out-of-body, third-person looking down on myself experiences.
No?
And so I was on my phone yesterday, and so I started Googling, like, haircuts for men who are thinning or haircuts for balding men. You know, trying to figure out, like, what's the appropriate haircut, because this ain't it. So enjoy, because it's going away. So and I'm looking at it, and then I don't know. I'm not on social media stuff. I don't know a lot about the internet, but I'm like, just Google the words, and I hit images, and it's giving me things, and so I click, and I see another one, and I click, and I click, and I click. And then at some point, I was just like, oh, wow, a lot of these dudes don't have their shirt on. This is weird. And I click, and I click, and I click. And then there's this one guy who's like sitting in his car, and his shirt's open, and there's like a 1970s shag rug coming out of the shirt, and it's like, do you like bears? And I'm like, bears are awesome, man. Like, yeah, I like bears. Polar bears, black bears.
We just opened up our listening audience.
And so
we're coming for
so
you,
I'm
bears.
clicking on that, and I'm clicking on that, and I'm like, well, there's a lot of fat dudes without shirts on. And then I was like, oh, what have I done?
You're like,
what have I done?
I'm in a special corner of the interwebs.
And I have never deleted a browser history faster in my life than what I was. Now, I did find some good haircuts, though, so we'll see how that pans out. But I accidentally got lost down a homosexual rabbit hole.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I hope you appreciated something there. I don't know what that would be.
No, like I said, I got great haircut ideas.
Why does it matter?
Why does it matter what?
You're balding.
Oh, I know. No, what I'm saying is I don't mind that I'm balding. That's fine. But if I'm
What
balding...
do you gotta change your haircut for?
Because this looks like I'm just trying to hide it.
No, it's your haircut.
Well, I'm cutting it.
Okay.
I'm cutting it in.
We support you. The listeners and I support you.
I appreciate that. I thought you meant why did it matter that I found myself in like that territory. I was like, well, because that's not a special interest of mine.
I accidentally waded it. I told the story in Texas where I waded into that accidentally.
No, you didn't. That was
the last episode.
That was a lot. Please, that was a good one. That was funny. When you told the story about the whiskey, I was like, surely he's going to tell the dinner story too, and you didn't.
I did not.
You didn't.
So we had the trip in the Lost episode. It was after I'd taken a trip with my son down to Southwest Texas, Terlingua, Balmorhea, Fort Davis, Big Bend National Forest Park, whatever. But we stay a couple nights in Terlingua, and while we're there, we go to the Starlight Theater, which is a restaurant with a stage, and it's a nice dinner at the close of the trip, and we just kind of treat ourselves. last year when we went, it was a karaoke night, and so we got to enjoy that and partake in it. Well, we were kind of geared up for the repeat of karaoke, and so a number of people in our party had their song.
Oh wow!
Ready to go.
So they sang the first time.
No, because they were some did, but some did not because they were not prepared.
Gotcha.
So we were prepared this time, and some of the boys were ready to get up and do their thing, and then we get there, and our waiter Andrew comes up and he says, "There's live music tonight, and the dance floor will be open for you to dance." And just being coy, I looked at Andrew and I said, "Well, I don't know if I have my dance partner here, so I mean, if I'm needing a dance partner, would you join me?" And Andrew said, without flinching, he said, "I'll dance with you." And then, which I thought was. At first, I thought, well, that's just a good job getting your tip. Like, you're doing what you should do as a servant. I don't know if that's what you should do as a servant, but like you're like, okay, sure, yeah, whatever.
Servant?
Server?
Okay.
Server?
I thought you said servant, and I was like,
if I did, I didn't. Server.
Okay.
Waiter?
Who do we offend? The entire service community.
But every time he came back to the table, he stood in that position and would just dead-eye me and was like, "Anything else I can get you?" And I thought, and then when the live music started, he made sure to come back to the table and be like, "Dance floor's open." And I thought, I really screwed up because I think I led Andrew on to believe that there was something there that isn't there, which is a dance partner. So yeah, it was.
I get it. You were just looking for a haircut. And you backdoored yourself into a situation.
I thought I was being funny, and that blew up in my face. Kind of like the joke that I told, which people have enjoyed that very much. I'm glad that you are all taking pleasure in my misery.
I quality checked that episode this morning. And one of the things I really hate is that our new format, when I do the quality checks, I can't only do the audio. I have to watch the video. And I'm not a video person, so a lot of times I just like leave my phone open and then I just, whatever. And which really eats into my plan on my phone time. I mean, those jigsaws aren't going to do themselves. So
fruit's not going to slice itself.
Darn straight.
That's right.
So but oh my God, like when you told that story again and I'm listening to it, I'm just in my kitchen belly laughing at you. And it's a perfect moment.
It's good fun.
I think, in fact, that show description was Patrick tells his most embarrassing moment and then sees if he can outdo himself later on in the episode by continuing to say more embarrassing things.
Well, it's
and then pouring himself into a chair halfway through the episode.
I did have to check. I had enough recollection of that episode. I had to go back and I always double check when I bring in.
I like it.
My sister Amy has taught me that I now double check the stories I tell with who might be involved in that story.
I bet she likes to chit chat, doesn't she?
I don't know. She doesn't call me anymore, so she's mad. She's mad.
Sounds like a win.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So the sinner and saint moments. Lots of sinner moments today for us in our excursion. Anything you've done of value?
I was told I smell good today.
Oh,
that feels like that's a win.
Well, you won't be by the time you leave this. So they'll be like, "You smell like meat and cheese, buddy."
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I've smelled worse than that.
You smell good. Do you use fragrant things to make yourself smell
I
good?
do sometimes, yeah. Normally for work, just because, like, I don't know. If you're going to be in meetings and stuff, like, you just want to not be a problem.
More than deodorant. You put on a little extra.
I'll put on deodorant, and then I'll put on a little extra.
Deodorant's given, but...
Yeah. But what it was today is, because I wasn't feeling great, I didn't remember, like, COVID really set the expectation on bathing. Because I used to be like an everyday bather, but then like sometimes in the winter I'd be like every other day. And then during COVID I was like, well, I don't remember the last time I showered, so I got to do it.
I'm going out in public, time for a bath.
But yesterday afternoon, I had a cigar, got stinky, and we talked about that. Most times after a cigar I'll shower. So I showered. And then I got up today and I was just so foggy and I didn't feel well. I couldn't remember when I had showered and I was like, cologne will take care of this. And And then my wife came and gave me a hug, and she goes, "Ooh, you smell nice."
Oh.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"I got a pretty tight window here, but
you can sniff me all you want.
yeah." So she could sniff me.
Oh,
when she
okay.
wants.
Yeah.
That was the only window.
I love wearing smelly. I love it, and like nothing fancy. Like I'm okay with Dracar Noir. I'm okay smelling like
Sure.
I'm in 7th grade.
Sure. That was like 10th grade.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. But my wife does not. She doesn't like colognes and strong smelling things. It gives her a headache. So I only put it on when I don't want to be around her. So.
You smell nice,
And
though.
repellent. Yeah. So I don't have any of that stuff, and I don't buy her any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But my son wears that stuff, and I'm always like, oh, yeah, I like that stuff.
Yeah, you smell nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Like I have had, because I don't wear those
I do smell nice.
because I don't wear those things, when I have meetings or whatever in the morning, and I'm a morning showerer typically.
Yeah.
So there are times when I shower and get ready and head to a meeting, and the fresh smell of my soaps are still on me, as well as my freshly applied deodorant. And
I gotta tell you, man.
you'll say hey to somebody, and they'll be like, "You smell good today," and it's like, oh, thanks, a little boost.
Let me get that musk in my nose.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, I had, because I wear the same watch all the time. I wear it, to bed, and
You wear your watch to bed?
I do because that's not a story worth even listening to. My God, I thought about the story and got bored.
I'm just picturing you buck naked with your watch on. That's on the
Tell
internet.
me
That's out there.
Tell
That's
me
out there on the internet.
Describe what you see.
Well, it's dark.
But I got out of the shower one night, and I had a cigar that night, and my watch was the perfect combination of like body wash and cigar, and my hand was too, and I was like, this is what I want everything to smell like all the time. I want it to have like this exact scent with cigar mixed, and I have tried, and I've not figured out how to duplicate it.
You hold a cigar routinely with
I do.
your right hand?
No, either one.
Okay.
Either one.
I routinely hold it with my left.
No, it is with my left, because typically beer or cocktails
Okay.
on my right. Yeah.
So I have had days post cigar where I've showered or whatever, but then I'm in a meeting and I scratch my nose and I'm like, oh. And I'll just spend the rest of the meeting like, and this is where I'm sitting.
Oh, yeah. I've been asked more than once by a coworker, are you smelling your hands? To which I just go,
Mind your own business.
yeah.
I'm not smelling yours, that's for sure.
That's darn right. Darn right. You want me to smell your hands or mine? I'll choose mine, thank you.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, I like the smell of my body wash and cologne and stuff, and so I don't know, I like my smells. I like my smells. I don't like my fart smells sometimes.
This is probably the weirdest podcast.
This has to be the worst episode.
Good luck with this one. Good luck with this one,
Sorry,
folks. If
Gary.
you made it to this point, congratulations. Pat yourself on the back.
Where are we time-wise?
We're gonna go to the who did we offend? What did we learn? And good.
We offended
nights.
everybody in the service industry.
The spouses are offended. The in-laws are offended. The parents are offended. The gay men, burly gay men, are offended.
The Bears. The
Bears are offended.
Accidentally. They have good haircuts, though, man.
They can pull style off for big guys.
They sure can.
I mean,
They sure can.
yeah. What'd you learn?
I learned that gay men have great haircuts. I learned that you like smells. That surprises me that you like colognes. That I don't know why.
Yeah, I do. And you have to be careful of that in public when you smell I'm a little careful of that. Like when I smell a woman who smells good in public or whatever, like being like, is this a setting that I can compliment her on that, or do I just need to be like, I'm just going to enjoy that and I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because people like to be complimented.
They do.
But
I think they do.
In the wrong context, that just comes off as
Creepy.
heebie-jeebie.
Mm-hmm. I work with a woman that, like, she and I get along. We have good professional rapport. And one day she just had this cool looking outfit on. I was like, hey, that's a great outfit. And her face went from smile to puzzled smile at me. And I was like, did Did I say something not okay?
Yeah, right.
I thought I was paying her a compliment, and I have not seen her since.
Really?
Yeah, and so like I've not even had the opportunity to be like refresh and reset,
Boy.
and I am afraid she quit because I really liked her outfit.
There's interesting narratives that people run around with their head and struggle to hear a compliment or hear a
Yeah.
compliment the wrong way or hear anything the wrong way.
Yeah. But it's probably because I won't be a friend outside of work. There's time for that.
Here's your send off. There are seasons in life and days, weeks, months that sometimes are just turds. And feel free to sit in the cesspool that is that life without feeling like you have to justify it or move out of it, but also recognizing that you also don't have to be toxic in that space.
Yeah. And if you don't feel great, still do the podcast because you capture some really weird stuff.
Because we'll figure it out at one point and make it better. Well, you were perfect on that.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, this ain't your first something.
It's my 35th podcast.
It's the 35th, number
35th
35.
full episode.
Well, it's a 38 asterisk.
40. We lost 5.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah.
Stupid idiot amateurs.
Yeah, well, we did figure it out, and we figured out how to use a speaker without Bluetooth, so we're better off
Oh,
for
if
it.
this burns, I'm not joking. I'm done.
No, we tested it. We're good. Thanks for tuning in to a Sinner Insight podcast. Like we've said, we are developing. We've added the video. Surprisingly, people are watching us on YouTube. It's kind of crazy. We don't know who you are, you creeps.
Sad
But hey, this one's for you. We'll share us with somebody.
Share us.
This
is the great
share
we,
us.
We can share the women. We can
listen,
share
listen.
the wine.
Or introduce somebody to us, or share some feedback. Give us an email and let us know what you like, what you don't like, or any ideas or cocktails you might have for us.
And leave us a review, please.
Do that.
Preferably 5 stars.
Do that.